Oh, today we're going to be graphing exponential functions and being able to recognize what actually is an exponential function based off of the equation, the table, and the graph. So for the first one, we have y equals 2 to the x. And what I've done here is I've already taken all of your x values and plugged them in and got your y values. So we've created a table of values. If we're going to go ahead and graph this, we have negative 2 comma 1/4, which is like 0.25. If you like the decimal form better, you can do that. Negative 1 comma 1/2 or 0.5, 0 comma 1, 1 comma 2, and 2 comma 4. When we connect those, we can see the graph of the exponential function y equals 2 to the x. We're going to do the same idea here, but now we have a different equation. It's y equals 1/2 to the x. So if you take all of these different values and plug them in, negative 2, you would get 4 back out. If you plug in negative 1, you would get 2 back out. If you plug in 0, you would get 1, 1 comma 1/2, and 2 comma 1/4. And when you connect those, you can see the graph of this exponential function. Now looking at all of this, one of these represents exponential growth, one of these represents exponential decay. So the one on the left, you notice how from left to right, if you were to kind of trace your graph, if you start on the left and go to the right, your graph is going up for forever. This is an exponential growth function. The graph on the right, if you start on the left of your graph and trace to the right, your graph is decreasing for forever. That is going to be exponential decay. We are going to be able to identify how something is an exponential growth function or how something is an exponential decay function by the equation. So looking down below, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. All of these equations are written in the form y equals a times b to the x. Now this a value here is your initial value. The b value is going to be your growth or decay rate. So you're going to have that b value. That's going to be what tells you if it's growth or decay. Specifically, again, it's this b value here that's going to tell you if it's growth or decay. So for an exponential growth function like the one up above the A graph, you notice your B value was 2 for that one. That made it exponential growth because your B value was greater than 1. Anytime you have a B value that's greater than 1, you are going to have an exponential growth function. So for instance, you can have y equals 1/4 times 6 to the x. And because this base here is bigger than 1, it is growth. Now that also includes decimals that are greater than 1. So you can have y equals negative and then 1.25 to the x. And because your base here is 1.25, that's greater than 1, that's exponential growth. For decay, on the other hand, your base here is going to be less than 1. Somewhere in between 0 and 1 because it's not going to be negative. So for our graph up here, our base was 1/2, which is 0.5. That's in between 0 and 1, making it decay. You could have y equals 4 times 1/2 to the x, or you could also have decimals. As long as they are smaller than 1, then that makes it decay. So 0.6 is smaller than 1, so that makes it a decay function. You also can tell exponential growth or decay functions based off of the tables. So looking back at these ones, we're going to look at the tables and how they're changing, specifically the y values. Looking at our first one, our y values here are multiplying by 2. Our y values are doubling over time. So if you are multiplying by a number greater than 1, that's going to make it exponential growth. The decay functions are going to be the opposite then. From 4 to 2 and then 2 to 1 and 1 to 1/2, these are dividing by 2. So if to get from one y value to the next, you are dividing by a number, That would be decay. Another way to write that, instead of saying dividing by a number, you also could call that multiplying by a number less than 1. So if you wanted to view from 4 to 2 as division by 2, that's fine. But you also could say that that is multiplying by 1/2, which again, that's your base. And since you're multiplying by a number that's less than 1, that fraction there, that's going to make it decay. Looking at a graph, the graphs above were growth and decay based off of how the graph looked. If you have something that increases over time, that is going to be growth. If you have something that decreases over time, that is going to be decay. So let's go ahead and try a couple of specific examples. So looking at the back here, these are all going to be exponential growth or decay. For A, you notice from left to right, it's going up, it's growing, so that's going to be growth. For B, it is decreasing over time, so that is decay. For C, again, you're going left to right, that's another one that's going up, that's going to be growth. For D through I here, you are looking for your base. Again, we're looking for what is being raised to the exponent power. There can be a number out in front. That's not the part we need to look at. We are looking for our base. So for D, we're looking at 0.9. For E, we're looking at 1.98. For F, we're looking at 5/2. So as we look at that base, if it is less than 1, that means that is going to be decay. If it is greater than 1, that is going to be growth. So D, because it's 0.9, is decay. E, because the base is 1.98, that makes it growth. For F, 5/2, we have to be careful with this one. We have to turn it into a decimal to kind of compare it. 5/2 is 2.5. Since it's bigger than 1, that is going to be growth. 8/11, that is smaller than 1, so that is going to be decay. For H, 42 makes it a growth. And for this last one, I, 0.15 makes it decay. For number 2, let's go ahead and take a look at that. We want to divide each y-coordinate to find the growth factor for each function and then circle if it's growth or decay. So if you can look at it and say, from 3 to 6 and from 6 to 12, oh, I can see this pattern, right? 3, 6, 12, 24. It's doubling. You're multiplying by 2. If you can see your pattern like that, then you can just go ahead and say, well, that decay or growth factor is going to be 2. And this is exponential growth because we are multiplying by a number greater than 1, and as you go over time, your numbers are getting larger. That's different than the next one. We go from 9 to 3, 3 to 1, 1 to 1/3. So right away you can say, hey, this is decay. So 9 to 3, really what's happening here is we're dividing by 3. But your growth or decay factor, we can't write divide. It has to be multiply. So when you have divide by third, we're going to change that into a fraction here. So what we can do is you can take one y value and divide by the y value that came right before it. So we can do 3 divided by 9. So take a y value, divide by the one that came before it. 3 over 9 reduces to 1/3. Let's check another one. Let's do 1/3 divided by 1. If we were to reduce that, we would once again get 1/3. So our growth or decay factor is 1/3 for this one. And that's going to help us with this next one because it is hard to see. Looking at this, is this exponential growth or exponential decay? Well, I can see my numbers are getting bigger over time. So I'm going to say this is exponential growth. But to find the growth or decay factor, that's going to be a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to take a y value, 27.5, and I'm going to divide by what came right before it. So I'm going to do 27.5 divided by 25 or 22, and you're going to get 1.25. Let's test another one. Let's do 42.969. We're going to divide by what came right before it, so 34.375, and you should get the exact same number, 1.25. Once you get that number, that is your growth factor here. It's 1.25. That would be your base in this problem. So thank you very much for listening.